Live TV. HDMI 2 checked. HDMI 3 connected. HDMI 3.
Yeah, I think it's working. Yeah, I think it's working. Yeah. A bag. That should be a company. You know, you call something cables in a bag. And, you know, sell cables in a bag. Big bunches of cables. People bring their cables in. It's potluck, you know. Maybe some of them work. Maybe some of them don't. Wouldn't that be heaven? Heaven in a bag. That would be the alternate name. So you got, like, you know, cables in a bag and heaven in a bag. All that stuff. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. What was that? Black Mage 71. Well, I guess I'm going to do some roulettes. Try to do some roulettes, depending on how I queue. I need to check my retainers. I haven't done that in a long time. It was 6 days. You know, it's really useful to kind of put the dates on these things because nothing seems to do it for you. I mean, even like logging into this game, it doesn't put the date stamp from when you last logged in, which would be cool. But I guess I understand why they don't do that. I mean, it's kind of, you know, maybe like if you're immersing. Ooh, I can't go to my private apartment. Ooh, I almost forgot that. Yeah, 6 days, my brain fills up with some fun stuff, I guess. Alright, so where do I need to go? Routers. The cheapest. It's got a summoning bell. My retainers. How many days do the retainers stay gone for before they just give up and say, well, the Warrior of Light has traversed light, ridden on wings of light, has jumped upon the light rail, has changed all of their molecules to light, and visited other places that were at light distances away. Clearly it's not 6. I think is it 5? It's probably 5 or 4, something like that. I don't even know. Man, these are sellable. Can I use these things? Item comparison. Yes. No. Alright. Sell. Because I think I have 80 casting gear. Sure. Sell this. Yeah, speaking of Maxwell's demons, that would probably be the issue there. You know, Maxwell's demon, to the best of my understanding, means that the demon itself separates the faster moving hot molecules from the slower moving cold molecules, to generate absolute heat. I don't know that Maxwell stated it that way, and I don't know that I've ever heard it being stated that way. But yeah, absolute heat. Because if you had only heat molecules with nothing to compensate, you would have absolute heat, which would be very hot indeed, possibly even, shall I say it, hell. Because if all of the molecules are moving at the exact same speed, directional, right? Like everything is directional in magnetism. Like when all the freaking electrons are moving the same direction, then they attract other electrons. So if they were all moving at the same speed being a completely different animal in electromagnetism, then they would what? They would, they would all kind of want to be together, right? I mean, because that's the way it works. Like, they would stack. Maybe. I mean, I have never done any experiments on the things. I'm just not that small. I suppose, you'd have to get down to the nitty-gritty of it. Or, have, like, various things. But, like, you got electrons, protons, neutrons. The electrons spin, depending, it's basic chemistry, kind of. Also basic, physics, sort of, in a way. But, like, they all move. Things move, of course. And, like, you have a bunch of stuff spinning just randomly throughout, like, take a freaking block of wood, for instance. Everything is just kind of moving, kind of slow. I mean, what, you got, like, carbon, like, different things. Probably some oxygen in there, and, what's the chemical formula for, like, wood? I don't know, because I'm not a chemist. In fact, I just might be an idiot. Just a huge freaking idiot. So I don't remember the chemical formula for wood. So it's a beautiful thing, though. You got all the what it's like. I know wood is not elemental. It's carbon based, though. I gotta desynthesize this thing. Sell this thing. Yeah, I guess good old internet giving idiots a voice since 1990 something or another. Anyway, let's see, 17. Yeah, Maxwell's demon thing. So, like, so the demon's standing there using its, rather demonic, larger-than-life member to move heat to infinite heat and cold to infinite cold. And says, hey, why don't I do the same thing to light molecules and matter molecules? So it separates all the light molecules into light molecules and all the matter molecules into matter molecules. Well, that would make it God or creation, wouldn't it? That would just make it, that's what it is. I mean, you know, you got like light molecules on one side, protons, and then like, you know, the matter molecules on the other side. So, got all kinds of things like that, just moving about, bouncing around. They bounce off each other, I guess, because they can't really connect, you know. It's like a freaking demolition derby out there. Unless it's a magnet, of course. There's something to that. I can't quite get to it. Like magnetism, what's this bow look like? It's a nice looking bow. Very demonic in a way. Yeah, that is a bow for like a trench. You know, if you're running up somewhere, because that thing would shoot really good up. I mean, you know, because you could really stretch the bow, like if you, you know, were trying to like shoot up or whatever. Har, har, har. So, like, yeah, take it apart. Then you got oh, yeah, that was a bad transition. Bad transition. What was I thinking about? I don't know. I think my brain just flew the coop. Along with the rest of the chicken feed, perhaps. Star Velvet Hood of Healing. That's syllable. There's a big word for syllable. Lucrative, liquid asset, something along those lines. Liquidatable, liquidation, liquid something. 5317. Anything. Yeah. What does that look like? Why don't I look at it? Oh, I see. Ouch. Woo. Yeah. Sell, put up for sale. 535295. Hey, might as well undercut them. There you go. Alright, so like Maxwell steaming, and this guy. Yeah, moving all the stuff around. Separating hell from heaven. I mean, you know, maybe not heaven. Would it be heaven? I mean, like, if you put all the hot and all the cold. I mean, I guess it would depend on the person. But, like, cold would be maybe absolute freeze. Like, complete stillness. But the cold molecules, what? Yeah, they a lot slower. So, like, if they were all together, they would just absolutely stop, wouldn't they? And, like, just... what? Cease to be in reality, I guess, maybe. Or just create, like, an absolute moment in time. And if it was constant, like, they would just spread out over all things, perhaps. Like, create pockets of cold everywhere over infinity, but still there would be something like around them, I suppose, like radiation. But movement implies heat. Any movement is heat. Right? I mean, is it not? So, like, got a bunch of movement. Which generates heat. So any movement over complete stillness is something. I mean, I think that's what radiation is, right? Just any movement over absolute cessation of movement, which in the physical realm is practically impossible, right? I mean, because existence is existence, and it is, and we are, and there's a cart somewhere and a horse somewhere, and like things are moving about, bouncing off each other. If they're not bouncing off each other, what's in between? I think most things bounce off each other somewhat. From what I recall, it's been quite a few years. But you got the movement of the physical. Maybe whatever's between all that is the spiritual, or the, I mean, something connects the things, right? There's got to be like some kind of field. Maybe you call that radiation. Maybe you call that, like whatever you call that. But like, so many things. Like, I mean, if they're just all jumping off each other, and like you have that, and you have the field, and you got radiation, and radiation is there, and of course radiation is it's heat. It's generating heat. Like the universe, I think they've determined is like a very specific, negative temperature. It's like a certain amount of cold. It's like, that complete absence of, but still, I mean, any movement, it's again, back to Maxwell's demon, like, if everything is completely still, then there is no heat. It is absolute. It's colder than absolute zero, because I think absolute zero actually registers as a temperature. I don't know, I'd have to check that. But like, so there could be something colder. But yeah, the universe sits at a certain temperature. Everything, I guess, is moving at the same speed. And that's what you'd have for just eons and eons. Or just like, space after space after space. You just have, like, everything moving at exactly the same speed. Which again would be like Maxwell's demon. So like if you separate all the heat molecules out, then again, that might be the creation of another universe. Like, you might have created another universe at that point. You know, any movement, in fact, like, if, like, literally incomprehensible nothing, or incomprehensible space, whatever you call nothing, incomprehensible similarities, incomprehensible same speededness, incomprehensible just for however far it goes, that everything is moving at the same speed, like radiation is just waving all of everything, the quarks, you know, quantumness, quantum matter, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's just moving at the same speed. Maybe there's no reason. Maybe it's, how could there be a reason if there's nothing? There's just no reason. If it's just infinite, forever movement. What am I
Live
even
TV.
doing here?
HDMI 2 check. HDMI 3 connected. HDMI 3.
What's all this stuff? What's all this stuff? Yeah, hey, good old echo. Yeah, but like the echo in this game, that's pretty awesome. As far as that goes, like of course
HDMI
things
connected.
exist, you know.
HDMI 2.
Like, and that's kind of my, well, that's where I'm kind of standing at in a way. Like the Maxwell thing, it's like the echo thing. You could sort of travel, you know, like that way, like back. I mean, it's making an echo. I mean, that's kind of what the echo is. I think, you know, they probably, I guess those, you know, well, it's a different thing. Spirit, like molecular creation, and just what is, and spirituality and all that stuff. Like if you see something that happened before, of course everything bounces off everything, kind of. I mean, you got this kind of existence, you know, like everything is, and like light is, and like light creates its impression on the psyche, and like you got the human brain that records and remembers. So like, how many remembrances are there? Like it's kind of that, like every single person remembers their story, right? So like I mean, well, you know, to a point, you remember your childhood, kind of. Somebody probably saw it anyway, even if they don't remember it. So it's somewhere, maybe, unless it vanishes. But even then, where does it go? It's got to go somewhere. It existed at some point. Light saw it. Maybe darkness saw it. Maxwell's demon maybe saw it and just blank, you know, just pulled all those atoms or molecules out. Or your own brain that was a hole, or they cease to exist. It's scary. It's a frightening thing, actually. I'm starting to kind of scare myself here. So, like, yeah, you got, like, being at some point, and all these. There's an exact, like, kind of duplication of what is, right? I mean, everything that is, everything that's created, everything that's in existence kind of forms, and then there is another form somewhere, because as those things form, oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm gonna cue for something here. You know, as those things form, I was going to say that something bounces off the formation and creates a duplicate, but that's not necessarily true, and that might not have even been true until, like, you know, fish were brought about in the sea or whatever, you know, like people came and were able to form things. So there might not be a duplication. There might be no duplication anywhere. So it might just be linear, very linear, but like how many things are in a line, you know, you got to comprehend the line. I mean, it kind of exists. Sort of. I mean, if everything is spinning at the same speed, does that make a line? Is that what a line is? Everything completely and totally simultaneous, and everything like completely and totally similar, and everything like everything at the same rate? I mean, it's kind of implied in a line, right? Like, that kind of is a line. There are no DPS cues. No DPS cues. Like, I mean, a line. But, like, I guess I can do a tank cue. Man, I haven't done one of those in maybe over a year now. I don't remember the last time I tanked. Oh man, I kind of miss it actually. But I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I'm just falling really far behind on the leveling thing. But like, yeah, so like, things being what they are, you know, you got a bunch of things out in space just floating around. Probably not bouncing off each other, which is, you know, what makes a wave, kind of. The more things that flow at the same rate of speed and in the same kind of direction, the more things are different than things that sit. You know, that's what makes an object. I think I was talking about wood earlier. Yeah, like wood is completely different than you know, sound, mainly because of the direction of everything. Like, so yeah, you're sitting out in the cold of space, you're just seeing it, or you're not seeing it, you're just kind of grooving along with it. Then something changes for some reason. Who knows why? You know, humanity is kind of the same. You know, you could be like doing like this, you know, just talking, just going along. And then all of a sudden, just something changes. You don't really know why. Just does. Just for the sake of it. Because why? And then maybe a new universe is born. You know, new life is created. New being is made. New everything is everything. Okay, well, I'm going to stop here. I think that's been about like 30 minutes or something, or an hour, or frickin' who knows. So, like, maybe I will try something else before I queue. Yeah, 30 minutes. Right on the nose. How about that? Woo!